This is it. On the road once again. We have places to be. But so the kids don't wake up this morning to see that we've gone, we should say goodbye first. Come on now, Colin. Do you not want to eat some stew? Wait, before you do, drink some of this. Yeah, it's a special drink I made. I blended water from the Spirit Spring with the water from the hot springs. It's yummy. Okay. There's no worse feeling than being sick or injured and people are trying to make you eat. You just don't wanna, you just wanna go back to bed. I relate to Colin a lot in this situation. I just realized I don't know where Fairy is. Is she? No, she's not here. She's, oh God, there's only one thing to do. We need the horse alarm. Hey girl, all right, you ready for some adventure? Let's mount you from behind, take off running. Let's not waste any more time. Let's go through at top speed, eat my dust! Is that racist to say to people that are made of rocks? I kinda hope not. Asking all the ethical questions here. Welcome back to Hyrule Fields. There's another horse alarm down there. We see the curtain of Twilight is in our way. And we got a rock right here. The things I get excited for. Go ahead and pop on my bombs, throw them over there. When I said before that bomb arrows made their debut in Twilight Princess, that's kind of a half-truth. See, they've had a bit of a rough history, so technically, this is their first appearance named bomb arrows. They were in Link's Awakening before this and no other game, where they were never required to actually do anything. They just did more damage than regular arrows, and you could only use them if you thought to press the bomb button and arrow button at the exact same time. This was meant to appear in Link to the Past, but Miyamoto personally requested that the sword always be equipped in that game, and so as a result, it ended up going unused and ended up getting used in Link's Awakening. So yeah, it went from being an unnamed Easter egg to now finally becoming an item that actually does something, and having puzzles designed around it. So I think it still means something that it made its debut here, and that it makes sense. Where do I go? Where do I? There's chest. There's chesties. Kind of a roundabout way of getting to this thing, don't you think? We get a piece of heart! One more for a full heart container. All looking good, all looking good. Whoa, I glanced away for a second. I didn't realize how much I was straddling the line between life and death. So we got a pretty easy thing to be on the lookout for here, just to the west of the main road. There should be a bug right around here. I hope we don't get bugger all. I think that's a swear in British English, so I'm sorry if it is. I'm just American, I don't know, I'm sorry. You guys, okay, the thing about like British English that I gotta say, you guys have sayings for like everything. Like in America, we would just say, I ate corn yesterday, but you guys would be like, oi, I pulled a scallywag. And then I'll be like, what the frick does that mean? And you guys would be like, what, you don't have a saying for when you eat corn yesterday? They're always so specific. I'm like, why do you guys have sayings for like everything? You caught a male grasshopper. Is that a male grasshopper in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me? Go, oh no, God, I struck my horse. I said I'd never strike a horse. You are a lever, a new enemy. They attack in great numbers around you. They just kind of swarm all around you, picking up rupees that I don't need. Gosh, if Ilya was here right now. This is how we know Ilya is truly in trouble. The fact that she's not coming running after me like the freaking postman and demanding that I stop hitting my horse. I don't mean to do it. She's just always in the way or near a child that I want to hit instead. That doesn't make it any better. Okay. All right. So next up, we want to just keep exploring around this great big ol' everlasting world that we got to go through. and I see in the distance a stray little pixel. But we get closer to it and reveal that it's just pixel aliasing inside of the Twilight realm. No. In the northeast of this field, somewhere. There it is! God, these are hard to see during the day. Those kids better feel special because I tried to say goodbye to them at nighttime and they just weren't awake and wouldn't let me in their house. I do have to share this with you though. We have closed for the day. Come back another time when we are open! Where'd it go? I hear Twinkly. I hear Twinklies. Would you stop spawning in? They just keep spawning over and over again. I believe that if you keep killing them, eventually a giant one shows up, and then if you kill that one, they stop spawning. Where? Again. Now you're gonna get it. That's how you take them out efficiently. Spin attack. Oh my God. You cut a female grasshopper. You're so voluptuous, I could just know. Okay, we're just gonna leave the levers and go over towards this bridge. I gotta tell you, Bridge of Eldin is going to be a stage in every Super Smash Bros. Game until the end of time. And it couldn't have gone to a better stage, really. Like, it was one of the best new additions to Brawl. You know, okay, I know that Brawl gets crapped on a lot for not being competitive friendly and all that, and that mattering a lot to people, but I kinda gotta ask, a lot of us aren't tournament players. Is it really that big of a deal if a game is non-competitive to most of us? I get that more people will have fun with the game if it is competitive. I'm not denying that at all. I understand why people don't like it, but I just kind of feel like people value tier lists and competitive viability and all of that way too much when they aren't competitive players themselves. My feeling is that people feel like they're wasting their time if they main a character and they're not like the best in the game or not at least in like the top 10 or something like that. And I feel like that leads to fringe strategies or characters that are secretly good not being found for a longer period of time. I feel like the casual player base and people experimenting and just trying to have fun plays a role in competitive games more than I think people give it credit for. And I also gotta say, I played all the Super Smash Bros. Games again fairly recently. You got a male phasmid. A phallic phasmid. And I gotta say, as much as I get the appeal of Melee, the stages in that game really suck ass. If you take away like the whole like 5 stages that are tournament legal, so many of them were obnoxious to play. The stages in Brawl, I gotta give them credit. They're really good. A lot of them have stuck around for a long time. Definitely say what you will about character balance and game mechanics, but the stages in Brawl, I think, have withstood the test of time a lot better than the stages in Melee and are among the most beloved stages in the entire series. It's definitely got a few stinkers, but it's got a lot of hits. I just had some rants about that. I'm not the biggest into Super Smash Bros. These days. I was for most of my life, but I don't really feel like I got the most into Ultimate. I did have the issue that I just didn't really have people around me that played and the online wasn't the best, so I just kind of fell into obscurity for me. I was still excited when the characters got announced though. I'm going off on one hell of a tangent right here. So we made it across the bridge! All right. Let's see. I already got my bombs out. Gotta blow this up. Come on, Horsinator. Man, if that portal was just 5 feet to the left, you guys would have just gone into the abyss. That would have been a really unfortunate way to get born. I want to make sure that we're not missing anything real quick. I tend to talk over the twinkling sound that the golden bugs make. Aha! I knew it! I knew that there was a counterpart. They always come in pairs, almost always in the exact same area. I think the house in Kakariko Village is the only time that a bug appears by itself. We got a female phasmid. What, just because she's got long antennas? And if we go back, we don't have Midna. We got something better. A spin attack! They don't attack for crap. They just stared at me. They're like, hey man, what are you doing with that sword? That thing is really shiny. Well, we have a warp point, but sadly the bridge is out, so we can't do anything here. We're gonna have to remember this place for another time. Seeing the glow at night, knowing that we are close to the curtain here. We can just run over enemies with Fairy, by the way. It doesn't really matter. Oh, this music is soothing. Oh, fire arrows. I told you that there were gonna be lots of fire arrows. Hey, 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 hey. Come on. Wanna get off here. Fire arrows. Well, that showcases that we can't get in there. Oh my God. Now you're gonna get it. Just for you, right in the ass. He was face down, or yeah, he was face down, so it didn't do that. I almost thought like, wait a minute, wouldn't that be face up though? But then I remembered, oh right, a face means the face. Come on, get on there. I struggle with horses, okay? It's not just gates, I struggle with horses in general. If I'm not failing to jump fences with them, I'm failing to get on them, and if I'm not failing to get on them, I'm shooting them. Ah, we're finally here. There's only one few shadow left. So, this is the last of the Twilight you'll see, I guess. Whether or not you accomplish your final task and survive is up to you. So, what will you do? Let's get furry! Want me to let you into the Twilight? Darn Skippy. Alright then, I guess I'll have to help you. But what a shame that this is the last of the Twilight. I had become so fond of seeing it covering this world. Or is it really the last you'll ever see? So, shall we get going? Off we go. We have a long stretch of just running through it, so I'd like to tell you about the origins of Wolf Link. So the Twilight Realm, and it transforming Link, was done because, oh hey! Let me sniff you! But Link, can't you at least promise me this? Just come home safely. Yeah, I'll forget the smell of some snot-nosed kids for the smell of my girlfriend! Thank you. You smell the girl, don't you? No? I can tell by the look on your face. Well, good. It's another clue, then. But this scent could be quite old. I wonder if she is still all right. You just want me bad, so you're hoping she's not. All right, so the origins of Wolf Link. They decided to make the Twilight Realm and have it transform Link because they had noticed after the commercial failure of Wind Waker, not implying it's a bad game or anything, I got turned around. After the commercial failure of Wind Waker, they were looking for patterns in what Zelda games resonated most with the audience, and they found that games that took place across two worlds and had Link transforming was a common thread. Link to the Past and Ocarina of Time both did this, so they decided that this game would have two worlds too, and Link would have some kind of transformation. Specifically, why a wolf? It's based on a dream that Aonuma had where he was a wolf inside of a cage, and when he woke up, he felt disoriented and wanted to convey that feeling of being in a different body and then reawakening as your original form and it feeling foreign to you all over again. Hey, haven't we seen this castle before? So we finally made it back here. Well, only a little farther, so hang in there. Or so I'd like to say, but the going's a lot harder from here on out. All right then, let's get started. Link was originally going to start out as a wolf and then become human later, but they wanted because they wanted it to be intentionally confusing and have the player feeling lost, but they kind of felt like it was a bit much to have the player start out learning this other form that wasn't going to be your main method of combat in the long run. And I gotta say, man, I wish I had dreams as good as game developers do. You always hear these stories about like, oh, Yasunori Mitsuda thought of the melodies in Chrono Trigger in his dreams. And I'm like, bro, whenever I have dreams, it's like, I run into Sonic the Hedgehog at Walmart where he tells me the Kool-Aid Man is after us for drug possession. And so we go hide out at my mom's house, but my mom reveals herself to secretly be Handy Manny from the Disney Channel. And of course I believe every word of it. Yeah, like, I always hear about people having such structured dreams that aren't just utter nonsense, and it just sounds so foreign to me. I had a dream one time, actually, where I was playing this Animal Crossing game that didn't exist, and it involved combat and magic and stuff like that. The idea was that you would create a new town, and you had a choice of whether you wanted your town to be a kingdom or a village or a city, and whatever you named your town, it would be like City of Phones or Kingdom of Phones or whatever like that. And the reason why you cared about it was your town would produce different resources based on what type it was, and it would have advantages and disadvantages to PvP combat where your town would connect to your opponent's town and you would have battles with your opponents, and there'd be like, you know, various terrain advantages and stuff like that. And it was like a capture the flag kind of game where they were trying to get to your town hall and steal some kind of item. Or I don't know, maybe steal Isabel, I don't know. Get out of the way. Just gonna keep running past stuff. I don't need to fight things. I need to just pick my battles, not fight everything we run into. There's no Tears of Light around here. We're in the Twilight realm for the long haul. This is what I was thinking of when I said that this place is an endurance run. Let's go up the stairs. No, it didn't do the thing. Go away. Get out of here, get out of here, get out of here, get out of here. This is it. Through the Data East logo, we have made it to Castletown. The entire village is no more than just spirits now. Oh, that view of the castle is sick. Oh my god, I forgot how cool that looked. I like the little things when you replay games, how you forget how cool like this little 2-second moment looked or something like that, because it, you know, it is a little thing though, but it just surprises you. Hey, so did you hear? They say that a Zora child collapsed near here. I thought Zoras were typically found up north, right? I wonder why one came down here. Well, I heard that he was taken to the bar on the other side of the southern road. The bar? You mean Telma's place? She's got it rough. Ilia's scent continues into the town. I suppose I wasn't really using my senses, but this part is pretty linear, so I wouldn't say that it's all that bad, really. Let's talk to some more people. The fact that we can't take a bath because of the water outage, that's a big deal. I think it's fine. It's not like you smell. It doesn't bother me. Well, maybe it doesn't bother you, but you're the one who stinks. This reminds me of a thing I've always wondered. Why is California so expensive if it's always like in a drought and like you can't use water and like it's always on fire and everything? Like, shouldn't it be like cheap to live there? That's just what I've always thought. The water level of Lake Hylia has gone down and you can't cross into the Spirit's Cave. If people who came to worship from afar, I almost said warship, they'd be very disappointed. It must be hard on Grandma too, because she can't do her tours. They're all just living life, unaware that they've essentially passed on. We can go up to the castle. Phew. I'm gonna put my feet up at Telma's bar when I'm done with work. Everyone talking about that place. There seems to be something going on at the fountain. Yeah, people whining that they can't take baths and they stink. Nothing. Aw, how long do I have until my shift is over? Okay, that's pretty nice. That's pretty nice. So now, I want to go over this away. I think it's, is it this away or that away? I think it's that away. Okay. Just gotta fill in the map. Here's this little back alley. I hear a boy passed out. When? Where? I don't know. I always love getting asked questions that I have no possible way of knowing the answer to. People just do that all the time. Human movement is so rushed and disorganized. Maybe we should go to the central plaza to perform reconnaissance. Aw, they're cute little spies. I really want to take a bath. I had a brown tabby myself who loved to take baths. They say cats hate water, not all of them. The person in the tent on the southeast street makes me suspicious, meow. And this is the same variety of cat that Sarah had. Because of the crowd in the southern street, all kittens can't get through. What's happening? No others? Can I read this? Giovanni's house. This is it. We're just about to the source of the scent. Almost there. Aha, medical clinic. Doesn't look like we can get inside. So, wait, am I going in a big circle? Did I get turned around? Hang on. I think I got turned. Why did I ask where the scent was instead of just looking with my senses? I'm not the most perceptive little wolf. Okay, so she went this way. She went to see a doctor. We did need to see that. And it's Talma's bar, where everything seems to go down in this town. They are open. This boy, can you save him? All right, little lady, try to settle down, okay? I just now sent for the doctor. But this is strange, a child of the Zoras. I wonder if this is at all related to the incident the soldiers were talking about in the back. Aw, what an emotional reunion. Yes, a girl and her wolf. Sorry, but you know how it goes. These folks can't see you either. We've had a ton of complaints from citizens who can't send prayers to the spring of Lake Hylia. Go there! The location is the one I showed you on the map earlier. Got it? What? Study it, know it well. I've received orders from above to go investigate why we can't go to the Spirit Spring in Lake Hylia. Got that? I thought it was just because the water level was too low. But, you know, that's just what they said on the street. You shouldn't believe everything you hear. We might not be able to do anything about Ilia, but we got useful information, so we're gonna head out towards Lake Hylia. We got such a long way to run. You know, this kind of reminds me of how the difference between humans and four-legged animals is that they have speed, but we tend to have more stamina than they do, where they can't really sustain their top speed for long, whereas we can. And I saw this whole thing about how it's believed that the fastest human runner will be a quadruped by some point. Like, quadrupedal running is actually a thing, and people have been developing better and better techniques because the longer you don't have like a single foot touching the ground, the more drag you have in your running, so less downtime is always better. It's interesting. It's amazing how fast you get places when you actually look at the map. No, I did not mean to do that. And I got turned around again. I walked out of the area, not toward the bridge. I would not want to trust my life to that bridge. No siree, Bob. The thing is so eroded. How is this thing not closed?
That one would mine.
Hey, do you smell anything funny? It's gas! Oh no, we're trapped. Get out of here! Speaking of places that are always on fire and have no water, that fire is instant death if you touch it! We're better off jumping. Landed safely. Phew! That was a close one. We're lucky there was a puddle down below, huh? So this is Lake Hylia, but there's so little water. Yeah, puddle Hylia. It sounds like the spirit spring should be somewhere around here as well. Anyway, let's take a look around. We've left Kakariko Village. We've entered Twilight. We've found Ilia again, even if we couldn't do anything about it. And we're here at Lake Hylia where the next spirit is. Next time on The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. Let's see if we can save this spirit too. See you guys then.